Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Brie from Brie, and today I am hopping on to do a process video of me putting together a 3D mailbox. I actually picked up this die quite a bit ago. I did do a project share of some not marigolds, I think. What collection was it? It was a Maggie Holmes collection, and I showed you guys a 3D mailbox. And the die is from Ally. It is, I think it's a KS Craft die if I'm not mistaken. And it's just a 3D mailbox die. If you go on Google, you can actually find it that way. But definitely, it was definitely from Ally. And I did prep a lot of it just because I watched one video, which I will link down below, on how to put it together. And it's been a while since I made one, so I'm hoping that I remember. By the tutorial I watched before I received the die, I will have it linked down below in case mine doesn't help you guys out. Just because mine's mainly just going to be putting it together and decorating it with you guys. I just felt like it was appropriate because of Christmas time. Let's go ahead and just put this together. Kalia took an early nap today, and I am going to have my cousin coming until Chris gets home in case I do go into labor. So she's going to stay with me until then. But I do want to get this done before she gets here. So we'll see because she's on her way. But this is the pattern papers that I'm using. And the paper pad that I'm using is the... it's the Holly Jolly Die Cuts with a View paper pad. And you guys, I have made a dent in my first pad. I say first because I did buy a bunch of these. I was obsessed, and I'm just glad that I'm getting close to finishing this one. So these are the patterns that I chose, and the thread that I used is a Christmas ombre colored thread that you can get from Hobby Lobby, and it's $10, but when it's 50% off, you know, it's worth the $5. It does look really cute. I was debating because I've been using mint throughout this whole like Christmas season, mint stitching. I didn't want to switch it up, but I bought this Christmas thread for a reason, so I thought I'd use it. I did test it on a scrap piece of pattern paper just to see how it would look on the gold if it was too much, because I did want it to be still somewhat like pastel, but it doesn't look bad. So as you guys can see, it does go from red to green, and so there is like that light pink, and then there's like a mint green because of the white. So it kind of like, sorry, it kind of brings in all those colors. So I went ahead and I used it, and of course I would prefer mint, but we, you know, sometimes we have to step out of our comfort zone. So that's what I did there. And if you see any markings on my jacket, I apologize. Kalia was literally coloring with markers, and she thought it'd be fun to color on Mom's jacket. So anyway, here are my layering pieces. This die set does not come with any layering pieces, so I will share with you guys how I did my layers. But this is the die. I know it's not organized for you guys to be able to see how it looks, but I did do all the die cutting pieces. So let me just share with you guys what I did. Most of these you only need one cut of, because it gives you a die per side for each side. This right here is the top part. You can choose to have the little slit or not, which I did do for this box. The other one I didn't. I am going to be embellishing this top part, but I think some of it is going to show, so I went ahead and I did that. I am using I'm using some really thick basil cardstock, and I forgot what it's called, the color. I apologize, but it's a really nice light pink. And you do have to die cut this out twice. You don't need the little slit on both pieces because this is going to be the bottom of the box, And as you guys can see, even this part, I just used a scrap piece and it did get cut off, but you don't even need the whole part. So as you guys can see, part of the top is missing, but it's just the bottom, so you don't really need it fully cut. I do have one of each of the side pieces, and I did not stitch these because I'm layering pattern paper on them. So if you're not going to layer any paper and you're just doing these, you could stitch these up. You do need one of each of these, so one of these are going to be one of the sides of the box. You'll see when I put it together. And this is actually the flap and another side of the box. As you guys can see, they're pretty similar. It's just this one is attached to the flap. So you'll need one of each of those. And then this piece right here is the front of the mailbox. Okay, so this one right here is the front of the mailbox. You just need one of these. And this right here is the back of the box, and I'm actually going to show you guys how I did it, because it actually only cuts the top part out, and what it does is it leaves you to add how much of this backing piece you want, because you can have this top piece go as high as you want it to, but I prefer it being flush with the box and then just having this little part on the top peek through. I hope that makes sense. But this right here, I've already die cut. So I'll share with you guys how I created my piece in case you guys are interested on how I did it. And then I also left this piece because I wanted to show you guys how I make my layers with the pattern papers. Okay, so let me set these aside right quick. Alright, let me go ahead and just show you guys what I did with these pieces. And I did do stitching on all the little pieces too. And this is some gold pattern paper. And then these right here, which I think I shared with you guys. But it really, the thread definitely went well with this one because it has a bunch of colors on it. So I do like how that turned out. And I did choose this blue, which is very rare for me to have on a project, especially this much of it. But I just thought because it's the back of, this is going to be the back of the box, I didn't really need there to be a pattern that I loved, but I put it on the back and it actually looks really cute with these patterns. It just adds another pop of color. So this I'm actually going to put on the actual back of the box, so that way if someone were to turn it around, there's a pattern. But I did not do a cut for this one. I'm just going to leave it just straight up pink. So you could choose to make a layering piece for this though if you'd like. You don't have to stitch it either unless you want to stitch the top part, but I'm choosing not to. Okay, so for this piece right here, when you die cut it, I like to use a piece of washi. But like I said, it doesn't cut out the actual back because you can choose how long you want your backing piece to be. Just gonna get rid of those. Put this away before I lose it actually. Okay, and then I'm going to poke these out real quick. I thought I did. Oh, you know what? It didn't really go through. So I'm going to have to die cut this over again. So these alley dies, sometimes if you have the magic mat from scrapbook.com, they don't always cut very well with it. So I usually have to switch over to my acrylic plates because yeah, it just, sometimes it just does not cut, which is annoying. Okay, let me grab it. Okay, so I got my very well loved magic mat. I'm gonna try it again. If not, I have to switch it out. But yeah, I love this thing. I do love it. It's just that with Ali dyes or Amazon dyes that aren't like those big brands, sometimes they're not long enough, so it doesn't cut with this mat right here. Sometimes you just have to use different parts of it, so I'm gonna try doing that. Sorry if the camera shakes a little. I'm gonna go over it a couple times because I just want to make sure that it went through. Okay, that's a lot better. Yeah, sometimes you just have to roll it through a couple times and then put it in a different spot in your on your magic mat. No biggie, but as you guys can see, it only cuts off that top part. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this. Okay, and then what I do is I take my ruler, and the back is actually, or the front of the box is I believe 6.5 inches. And the way I got that was taking the longest part of one of the side pieces and measuring it from the stitched part right here, because you're going to be folding that. And it measured up to, yeah, about 6.5. It's actually a little bit over. Hopefully this isn't going to be too short. Oh gosh. Yeah, it might be a little short, but it might work. Probably should have done it a little bit higher. I should have started from here downward. It's okay. Well, you know what? We'll just figure this out. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this piece up, this top part. This is a side piece. I'm going to take the longest, the tallest part of the die, and I'm going to line it up to the score line that's on here. It's going to be very hard to see, but basically it's where your die ended, which is right here. You can see there's like a little leftover piece. And then what I'm going to do is just take the edge and just mark it just very lightly. To use something bright. Use a bright pink pen. Alright, and then I'm just going to cut that down. It does, like I said, I cut this one to 6.5. It's probably going to be a little short, so I might have to actually, I'm not going to recut it, but I might just add a little piece to the bottom because I'm not going to recut this. I used my platinum machine, my big one, and I just don't feel like die cutting right now. I'm on a time crunch, so I'm going to go ahead and trim this off, and then I'm going to trim off the excess pieces too on the end. So as you can see here, this is going to need some trimming, so I'm just going to trim that side off. This is just going to be the back of the mailbox. So, okay, I'm just going to toss out these little pieces. Save this. I can actually use that. Okay. Now, okay, so I found actually the branding strip for this was this is the pink icing basil cardstock. So in case you guys want like a really pretty pink that's heavyweight, this is a really nice color. All right, I'm gonna set this one aside. Okay, so that's how I got the back piece basically, and I just used one of the side pieces to measure it. So total it is about 7 1/8 from right here. It's 7 1/8 inches. So if that's how you want to measure it, I would do 7 1/8 from up here. Not this top part, but just this top corner right here. Alright, so anyway, we'll see how that goes. For the layering pieces, so I just cut out this one right here. What I do is I just die cut because I know that, oh, you know what, I messed up. Because these are actually going to show, and I did not cut out any pattern papers for that. Oh my god, oh my god. Okay, so anyway, yeah, you do need this actually. So what I do here, you know what, at this point I might as well show y'all because I'm gonna need it anyway. All right, here we go, more die cutting. Okay, so I did use this, and all I need is, I honestly just need these little pieces right here. So I'm just going to show you how I do this. I'm just going to cut this off. So these are just layering pieces, so I don't need to cut an exact size piece of paper. The reason being is because I'm going to be trimming it down anyway to become a layer. But if you want to be safe and you want to make sure that your pieces are going to be like perfect and even, I do suggest that you, when you do cut it, you know, measure at least not the flaps that you know are going to be folded in, but at least cut enough to where, you know, you have enough to cut around. So you would need a layering piece for this piece and this piece. I would cut them out together at the same time, like that. And I wouldn't even cut out this little end right here because I wouldn't need it, or at the bottom. So I would just cut it out like that. And then if you're going to trim out your paper, I would just not even worry about this flap right here either, because you're just, again, you're going to cut it out. Like I said, when I show you guys how I do this one, you're going to be like, oh, okay, I get it. Well, I hope you do, because I sound confused. I mean, I sound confusing. So I'm going to go ahead and, as you can see, I just need this outer part. So what I'm going to do is just cut about right here, like this. So as you can see, I didn't even worry about the flap being covered. It's literally just the piece that I need. So I'm going to take this one. Can't believe I forgot this one. Yeah, like I said, I haven't made one of these in a while, and I've only made one, and I've shared it on my YouTube channel. All right, here. And it is a little short on top, but I'm not too worried because I'm going to be trimming it down anyway. Again, and because I forgot just to do this part and I'm using scraps and I don't want to have to waste a whole sheet of paper for something I don't need, you would want to cut enough to have this part too. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring back my die cutting machine. Okay. Alright, so as you guys can see right here, it's cut out. And you could see the perforated lines right here because that's where you would fold the flap, but we don't need that. And this was supposed to be like the larger piece that you did need too, but I've already cut it out. So what I do is I use that little perforated line as my guide to cut, and you can use your paper trimmer. And if you use a paper trimmer, if you choose to use a paper trimmer, I line mine up. If you have this paper trimmer, I line mine up right where the white starts, right here on the trimmer. and it cuts off a hairline. It's like about a 1/16 of an inch. And I do that on both sides, just so that way they're even. I don't just cut one side, because if you only cut one side, then if it's an angle right here, it's not going to line up right. So I'm going to do that to these pieces. Actually, no, I'll use my scissors because not everybody has a paper trimmer, or at least everyone has the same trimmer. So when I cut, I just kind of, like I said, I use the stitching as a guide, and I just kind of, I don't know if you guys can see how far that is from the stitching, and I apologize, but I'm gonna just trim it out. And if you are OCD and you need to have it be so, like, just really straight, I wouldn't suggest this, because I can already tell mine's not straight. But that's because I'm also on camera. So I'm going to do it on both sides. Okay, and then I'm going to do the top. I'm going to do the angle also. And I like to have it where I could see how much I'm cutting off. So I usually have the shorter side on the left side of me because I'm right-handed. And then same with this. Okay, I'm going to do the same to this piece. And what you can do, because they mirror each other, is you can even take this one. You could do this with all the other pieces that have two pieces. Because they mirror each other, you can put this right behind it, because just remember, it's a mirrored image. And you could trim it out like this, so that they match. This isn't straight. But I'm going to go ahead and just do it how I was doing it earlier, because I don't mind. You can see it layers on perfectly. You guys, I don't know if the camera is catching the little perforated lines, but it layers nicely in there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the stitching really fast. And then I'm going to share with you guys the dyes I used too, because I did do a lot of prepping. I did do a lot of die cutting the past 2 days. It's just been crazy with Clea. She's going through it, and I'm kind of focusing on her. So let me go ahead and, sorry all that noise. This does bother me, so I have to punch it out before I put it away, but we'll do that later. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just bring in my sewing machine. I have it right here on the side of me, and then I'm just going to sew it, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I went ahead and I stitched my pieces. I'm going to just go ahead and cut off the thread here. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and put this together. Let's bring in all these pieces. What I'm going to do is glue all my pattern paper pieces to the pink before I put it together. It's just going to be a lot easier that way. So this I won't need to cover because that's the bottom, and I didn't do anything for the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and layer up these. And this is going to go behind, and it's a mirror image, so it kind of, they line up nicely. I'm talking about the little design on here. Alright, so let me go ahead and get these glued on. I'm just going to use some liquid glue. You know what? So, I'm pausing real quick because I know I should have done this beforehand. But the closure, depending on what you want, if you want to do Velcro or magnet, if you're doing a magnet, you could do it now because you want to cover it up with the pattern paper. So you would have to do it on your flap and your front piece. And I actually did a magnetic closure on the Maggie Holmes one, but for today, I'm not going to work with any of the I'm not going to work with any of the magnets right now. So I'm just going to do the vellum. I'm going to do Velcro. But you could definitely do magnets. I did want to do it for this, but I didn't prepare or prep for that. And I'm trying to at least get this put together. And I'm very generous with my glue, just because I don't want it falling apart, especially 3D projects. But I did do the stitching on the little slit there. And with the slit, you could choose to use an X-Acto knife to have a pink border, but honestly, I really did not mind that there wasn't a border. Alright, so I went ahead and I adhered all of the layering pieces, and so I'm going to go ahead and put it together. Like I said, I haven't done one of these in a while, and I didn't watch the tutorial again, which I probably should have, but I should be fine. Once you cut everything out, they kind of start looking, you're like, oh, okay, I think I know where this goes. But there are some tutorials out there. So I am going to start folding these pieces, and you can use your bone folder, whatever scoring tool you have, to make sure your pieces are nice and creased. Start gluing things down. You could use double-sided adhesive, liquid glue, hot glue. I don't like to use hot glue on 3D projects like these boxes. Usually it doesn't matter, whatever's closest. But my cousin's not going to come anymore, which is a good thing. I mean, well, it's not a good thing because in case something happens, but she lives like 25 minutes, which is not far. So if she has to rush over, she can. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and put these together. I forgot what I was saying beforehand. So much going on. But okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, like I was saying, you can do glue, hot glue or whatever, but I prefer liquid glue for these. Double-sided adhesive I do love, but also when it comes to 3D projects, sometimes I feel like it's not the most trustworthy of them all. And then with hot glue, you have to work fast, and if you don't, you're left with like gaps and bubbles and lumps, whatever. So anyway, alright, so these right here, anything with the presents and the colors are all like the front and side pieces. These are all the top pieces, the ones that have the gold. So I think I'm going to start with the base. And for the base, you're going to need the piece that we didn't cover, that I told you, the flap. As long as you have a flap to glue, then that's fine. And also the backing piece. And I think I don't need this part right here because look, it's just 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to leave that as it is. But here's the back. Okay, so this is the front right here. Like I said, I haven't done this in a while. So, okay, I'm going to glue this piece because I know this is going to get glued right here. So I'm going to glue it to this right here. You can choose to glue it to the back if you'd like, but I don't like how that shows. Maybe you can glue it like this before you put the pattern paper and then it will cover, but I'm just going to glue it underneath like this. I think it would be better if you did glue this first to the back before the pattern paper, because then at least it's sandwiched in between the two pieces, if that makes sense. So I do recommend that, but today we're not doing that. So again, and this glue is Barely Arts, which I do love. I like any liquid glue, like Nuvo, art glitter glue. Sorry for the noise. Art glitter glue, Nuvo. As I continue to make that noise. Fabri-Tac, Scotch Quick Dry, Zig. Is that what it is? No, Tombow. Not Zig. Zig is good glue too, but I don't know if they have liquid. Tombow Mono, that's a good glue too. The green bottle. So whatever you have, use. Okay. So I just went ahead and I put that one on. So this is the bottom, like this. And then this is the top, and that's going to get glued. Again, you can glue it here if you'd like, but you'll see the flap. So I'm just going to glue it onto the inside. And these are the side pieces. So the shorter side's going to go in the front, the longer side's going to go to the back. Having this flap will be easier. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down, which again is the front of the mailbox. Everybody does theirs differently. I feel like if you can flatten out your pieces before you start putting it together, that's the easiest way to go. So because I can have this flat and line it up really good, I feel like it's going to line up better. So as you can see, I just line up the edge or the bottom part of this piece to the edge of this flap right here that's going to go up, and it's just going to line up a lot easier and better, I feel. Alright, and then I'm just going to open it up. Same thing. Alright, I'll fold that over. Alright, cool. Now you can wait for this to dry, but I'm not. So I'm going to start with this side, which is the back side, and that's going to go here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up with this while I can have it flat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up to make sure that it's not in the way of my fold. And then just glue it down. And just open it up. And while you still can, like I said, while it's flat, you can go into the inside and make sure that it's really stuck on there. When you have the box already kind of like standing up and stuff, you have to use your hand and your finger, and you have to put your hand in the box, and it's just a lot harder. So that's why I recommend doing it where you can have all these pieces looking like this. Push down really hard and make sure that glue is really on there. Alright. Now this cover piece is going to be glued to the back here. It's going to be glued right here, and it's going to meet up against this top part right here. Can you see that? They like meet at the corner. So it's going to meet like this, right? Because that's your cover. So it's up to you how you want to do this. But and this is why I say use liquid glue, because if you use double-sided tape and then it gets stuck, you could tear the paper. If you use hot glue, it dries quickly. You really need a little bit of time to be able to move this around, because it does go at an angle, as you guys can see. So you need as much time as you can to be able to move that around and line it up perfectly. So it's turning out really nice. Now this part is going to get adhered like this. So you have a little tab here that's going to get glued onto the inside here, and these bottom ones go on the bottom. Alright, perfect. So as you guys can see, the top is starting to form. And this is that lid. And you can choose to put your Velcro now or after. I'm going to do it last. And now we're going to bring in this longer piece right here. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. The way this is going to line up, like I said, these are going to meet. And this is your cover, so you just want to make sure when you glue it, these are going to be touching. And this should line up with that score mark, but sometimes when you know, because we cut this ourselves, it doesn't line up perfectly with the score line. So I don't ever trust that score line that's there. I usually just kind of fold this up and line it up that way. But it's personal preference, however you want. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue. Okay, and this is where it being flat helps a lot. So as you can see, you can still lay it flat, and then you can get in and use your tool or whatever you have, fingers, to really push in that glue to make sure it's going to stick. And I'm putting a lot of pressure. Okay. Alright, so now basically we just gotta glue all these sides together right here. And it's just like the cover. You're just gonna glue all these pieces to the flap. There are little angle pieces, so it is gonna go at an angle when you glue your little tabs in. So I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna do the bottoms first and then the sides. And they're all gonna be done at the same time. I'm not going to work on one side and then work on the other side, because once one side is up, I feel like it's going to be a little bit harder to do the other side. And again, with it being open, you could still put your hand in and get on in there. And I am going to do, okay you guys, I think I was supposed to cut off from here actually, because it's not lining up correctly. So I might have to do some trimming. Yeah, wrong. We'll learn together. So when you cut off that other piece, it's going to be really big for the bottom. So I'm bringing in my scoring mat or my tool, and I just kind of made a mark with my nail. I'm just going to mark it. It's about a quarter. Yeah, it's a quarter that you have to mark. So I'm assuming you just need the rectangular part of that die cut. You don't even need the flap, and then what you do is you have to score it at a quarter of an inch. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't know. Obviously I'm doing it wrong, so don't follow what I'm saying at this point. I will make, because I probably should have done that before making this video, but this isn't really even a tutorial. It's supposed to be a process video of me just having fun and you guys crafting with me. So yeah, it's not really a tutorial for this particular mailbox. So okay, so I put glue on here. I scored it at a quarter, and I'm just going to glue this down before I have to put any other pieces down. Okay, and now for this top part, it's up to you if you want to use hot glue, because then it'll stick right away. But what I'm going to do is just make sure these flaps are really out there. And then put glue. You can even use double-sided tape for this part. Perfect. So now this closes up. And the thing about this box is why I say use the closures, because it does tend to want to open. So I'm going to go ahead and put Velcro on this. And I think I'm going to use pink. Okay, so I have some pink Velcro. I know I have an open one already, but I don't know where it is. And I'm going to put it on the inside first. And using hot glue, I'm going to make sure I put hot glue all over the Velcro piece, because if you don't, some of it's going to want to lift. So, I'm just going to try to find the center. Okay. Sorry, my camera shut off on me. Okay, yeah, like I said, it's a decent size mailbox. You can fill it up with a lot of things. If it inches out to be 5 by 6 3/4, that's not including this top part. With the top part is 8 3/8. But I only did the box because you're going to be filling it, but just know that it tapers down, so you can fill the back with some taller things, and then once it starts getting closer to the front, you would need to shrink it down to about a good like 5 inches. But yeah, so there's the Velcro piece. This is covered, and the thickness of it is 3 inches wide. 3 inches. Yeah, so here's the back. So you can see it's like so random. You can just like pow, and it's blue. But it's all good. I think it looks nice, and it does add stability when you do add paper to it. And if you want to add paper to the front too, that's nice. But I do like the pink. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and decorate this. Let me share the stuff that I prepped for this to put it together, so that way you guys can see. Okay, so on the side here, I have a mug that I want to make into a shaker, and I haven't actually put it together yet. I didn't have time, so I'm going to do that on camera. But this is a lawn fawn die, so let me grab all my dies to show y'all. I have a lot. So, okay. So for this, it's a lawn fawn mug die. It's actually an old one, and I have the the pumpkin one too, which I've shared on my channel before. But these are 2 separate dies that you can buy, and I want to make one of those here. This post die and the little emblem type thing, or the little label, is that what that is? Oh yeah, so this post die and this little metal piece that you could put on the front, it's kind of like those little label type dies. These came with the mailbox set actually. So I am going to be layering that. It's a layering die. And for this, I did cut out a piece of foam. And you guys, it cut out nicely with not the magic mat, but the acrylic plate. But I did do this in foam, and look how detailed it is. And look at how the foam came out. And that's because I wanted it to be dimensional. And on my Maggie Holmes one, I just used my hot glue gun to kind of make it stand up a little bit. And so I'm glad that this foam cut out really nicely, because now I could use foam for it instead. But yeah, so I did that out of white foam. You could definitely do it with any other color foam you'd like. So that's going to be there. These are some things that I did prep. This is a KS craft die. A lot of these are actually from this year. This is a Secret Santa piece that I have actually used other dies from this set on another project, which I will have out. And I did cut it out with foam. I do love to do my layers with dimension. So this one says Secret Santa. It's just red glitter paper with mint cardstock in the back. These are some heart mint candies. This is actually the smaller size of the two. And this is also KS Craft. And I was thinking I can glitter up the little peppermint pieces with some clear glitter. Probably should have done that beforehand. And then this one right here has a bow. This is a gingerbread bow. Okay, sorry, I had to adjust the lighting. It's probably the same, but anyway. Yeah, so this is a gingerbread bow die from KS Craft as well. And I actually realized I forgot to do my top layer because there is this like icing layer. And I was going to do it out of white glitter paper. Totally forgot. But I did include some of these little holly leaves at the bottom using a Lawn Fawn stamp. I probably should be showing you guys the dies anyway. But yeah, and then I did add some pom-poms as the berries, which I thought this turned out so cute. So glad that I decided to do the little center like that. And here is the ginger, oh, didn't even show you all that. This is the gingerbread bow die. You guys can see there's this like, you can make a shaker or make it icing. This is, you guys, I didn't organize these, so I apologize, but this is the, Secret Santa die, KS Craft, the peppermint hearts. You could use these for Valentine's Day. And there is a smaller version of the bow, but I used the larger one. Show you guys that. And this is the Cartabella. Oh yeah, so this mistletoe is the mistletoe and bow die set. It doesn't come with berries, but it comes with a bow, which I actually shared this die before too. But yeah, I just used the holly leaves, which are these two. And then I also used, did I use this? No, I don't think I did. Nope. But I did use this. This is, honestly, I don't even remember, and I apologize. I'm sorry, y'all. I really don't know where the sweater die came from. But I just used the candy cane. So you can use any kind of candy cane, but I just used this size right here for my hot cocoa mug. So that's what I used there. That's in here somewhere, which you'll see in case y'all want to know where that came from. It wasn't really helpful though, because I really don't know where it came from. And this is the Lawn Fawn Gingerbread Friends die set. And you guys, I love this die set. It has little gingerbreads and there's a lot of detail pieces, but you can definitely put these together really quick. There's different ways you could do it. I did it the harder way, where I die cut all the little icing pieces and the hearts and stuff because I wanted different colors. But you can die cut the face and the little icing pieces all on the brown piece of cardstock, and then you can die cut another gingerbread piece without die cutting the icing pieces, and then layer it behind it, and then it'll literally show through your die cut pieces. So like you can line up all these little squiggly pieces onto your die cut it all at once, then you die cut another piece without the squigglies, and then place it behind the gingerbread piece and it'll show through. But I didn't mind paper piecing these because I do like that look of the paper layering like look, and so that's why I didn't mind it. But I did turn them into gingerbread women or girls because they have bows. So I did that, and then I did die cut it out of craft cardstock, and then I did do some distressing to give it that cooked or like that baked look with vintage photo. And I think it would just look really cute. So those are all the dies I used. I'm just gonna set those to the side. Let's go ahead and decorate this. I'm just gonna set this here because I do have some pieces that I need to put together. Okay, so I'm going to start off with these. I'm going to start gluing them down. I did die cut the layering pieces for the top in the red and white striped paper from the Die Cuts with the View Holly Jolly paper pad. And then the backing piece is this pink cardstock, the same pink that I used for the box. And I still don't even know where this is going to go. But I saw dies and I was like, okay, maybe I could just layer all these up and then call it a day. So hopefully it turns out fine and I don't need anything else but what I have. Alright you guys, so my camera was acting up and so I let it kind of just do its thing, and I did pick up some things from my stash that I want to use for the shaker, for some embellishing, like light embellishing, and whatnot. So I do have some things pulled aside here. Hopefully it'll let me record now. So here are the two pieces I put together. Oh, I did want to do some glitter actually. Okay. And now I'm going to work on the coffee mug, or the hot cocoa mug actually. And I did do some red glitter paper. I probably should have glued this acetate piece down. Okay, so I'm going to use the strips. Ooh. I'm going to remove the top. It's just easier to mold. So I'll flip this. Get my hair out the way. I am craving froyo. And I'm going to do my filler. So for my filler, I actually, I did die cut some things, so I'm just going to use my tool here to show you guys. I did cut a spoon out of this really nice pink paper. And I also die cut a bunch of marshmallows out of glitter paper. And then I'm going to go ahead and look through here. So these are some resin pieces from Joann's. I also pulled out some of this glitter. Should I try? This is from Joann's. Oh, I think I will. I'm going to go crazy on this shaker. Because why not? It's Christmas. I think that might have been too much, but it's okay. It's all good. Just make sure it's in the center. Okay, so I did pull out these are from Michael's. These are little snowflakes. These are actually from this year and they're like $1, I think. But these are little red heart sprinkles, like actual sprinkles. So I'm going to use some. Oh, they smell so good. Oh my gosh. I love sprinkles. these are definitely trash. They're combined. There's two together and they were too thick. Okay, this should be good. And you guys, these were only $1 from Joann's. And then I was gonna add some of these. These are little styrofoam balls. I was gonna put just a little bit. Thinking I could do just a couple. Okay, so these are my random, well, I guess not really random, but some of the other colors I have, and I think I am gonna use just a little bit because it is hot cocoa. And these are small. I have some thicker ones next to it. I'll go with that. And I do have some of these. No, I hate opening those up. Those are new, that I got for Christmas, and I don't even want to open them up because they're a pain in my butt. Okay, so and I did use the gold polka dot paper from the Die Cuts with the View paper pad. Cute. My little hot cocoa mix. I forgot to add the little powder to the edges so they don't stick. It's okay, it's a shaker. So there's that. Whatever. It is what it is. Alright, I think that's it for putting together. Now we can put everything else together. Actually, I did want to glitter these, so might as well. So I'm going to add some glitter to, I think, the colored parts of the peppermints. Probably should have done this first. Did I do glitter? Yeah, it's Christmas time on that. Dang, it makes me wish that I did do the glitter outline on this. What I'm going to do is just do like little glitter dots on the holly leaves, because I'm just going to be doing like clear distress glitter. So I'm just going to put some glue at the tips, and then I'm going to put this cool. And this stuff dries quick, so oh my god, the whole thing just wants to go in. Alright, set that to dry. Do the same to these. I do love that look, so I'm gonna go all in. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be time consuming. Well, let's just see how it turns out actually. This is literally like icing a cookie for putting the thing. And it does dry clear, so right now it's gonna turn white. Okay, so once that dries, it'll be clear. I know it's not perfect, but again, you'll be able to see through it. I have done this on another project and another video, and yeah, it dried up clear and you were able to see the details behind the glitter. It'll be adhesive. So, yep, I'm gonna go ahead and let those dry. talk to the mama real quick. Alright, so that's enough for the glitter. I sense Kalea is gonna wake up soon, so I'm gonna try to get this done. Alright, so this is already drying. This one. Go ahead and just gotta be careful with those. Okay, so I want to decorate the top of this and then also this right here. I'm thinking I can have this here. This is pretty large. Didn't know it was gonna be that big. Did not know it was gonna be that big. I did want my spoon to somehow be here. And then I did pull some of these little cookie cutter pieces from Hobby Lobby, I think. I could add one of these trees. It's not pastel, but it might work. I think I'm going to use these pieces on the top. Like these. I did pull out some of these buttons. And then I do have these. I have an open one. I just don't know where it is. That I got years ago. Like forever ago. I was thinking maybe I can have it go underneath. I know this is like crazy, but oops. Maybe some brown seed beads. I wanted to look like hot cocoa in there, but it's okay. That might be too extra. Alright, I'm gonna move on to the top. I'm done with that. That was just too much for me. Okay, so the top part, I do want to use that Secret Santa. And I do want to use this gingerbread to bring back the gingerbread. What's wrong? Mommy's here. Oh, don't cry. Okay. Mama's coming. Alright, sorry guys, Kalea woke up, so I was like rushing, putting everything together. And this is kind of what I came up with. And this is the top. And I think what I'm going to do to finish this off is just add some pom-poms. And I'm just going to use some white ones to kind of like make it look like snow. So I'm just going to quickly do that before clay starts to cry. Alright guys, so I think I'm just going to leave it at that for now. If anything, I'm going to take my red Wink of Stella pen and go over the little post where the red is, and then maybe, we'll see. I don't like to do it because if I mess up, it does end up showing up on the white and stuff. But yeah, that's how that is. I'm trying to see if I want to put anything else. But you can definitely fill these up with some like embellishments and stuff. I would love to make some videos of things that I'm going to make and fill this up, but with how time is looking, I don't know if I'm going to be able to before the baby's here. The countdown begins today. I have 7 days until my due date, so we will see. But yeah, so here's how it looks. And I made it look like the spoon is holding a bunch of little snowballs. And yeah, this definitely was not what I was expecting to do, but I actually don't hate it. I do love the bow. Here's the top. And when I open it, I can fill it up with some goodies. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know putting this together was horrible because I don't know what happened here to the bottom. But I do hope that you guys enjoyed watching me somewhat put it together and decorate it. Definitely ended up not using a lot of the stuff that I put together on camera as well. But I hope this inspired you guys to get the die. If I could find the link, I will put it there, but if I don't, if I forget, just look up on Google literally 3D Mailbox die, and then if you want to put like AliExpress, and it'll probably show up there, but I will try my best to put it on there. Alright, so I hope that you guys have a great day, whatever day it is that y'all are watching this, and this will probably be posted honestly after Christmas, but I hope you guys have had a great holiday, New Year, whatever. And I'll try my best to get more videos out. I might extend some Christmas projects. But anyway, alright you guys, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!